evidence. Look at this.
Oh, we found
Pay dirt.
Oh, we
or
found something.
pay bone. Yeah, it's the left.
Actually,
Is the right? Shows you what I know. Hi, I'm Tim McNamara, Dean of the College of Arts and Science. We're here with Brianna Dahle and Sally Choi, and they're going to take me on an adventure in archaeology and anthropology and bones and digging and all kinds of cool stuff.
Absolutely.
And you can see I've got my work clothes on. I'm ready to get down and dirty here.
So today we will be looking at the field right here, and we're going to do a line search, and then we're going to mimic an excavation on the Vaughan home site.
Paper clips are something we train with because when you're out in the field, sometimes you can have fragmentary remains of bone, which can be super, super small, or you can also have shell casings, bullets, jewelry, other personal items that may have been lost at the scene. So as we go along, if you see a paper clip, let us know and we'll place one of these down.
Okay.
We're going to just go onto the ground and look for some paper clips.
Evidence.
We got our first paper clip. Oh, we got another
Got two.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yep.
Got one?
Yep.
Nice.
I can see how doing this for a long period of time would be tiring. You really have to pay attention.
Most definitely, especially when you are going through like different types of terrain too. I can imagine like maybe a forest or a swampy area could get pretty difficult. Probably dirtier than this as well. 12, 13. We got more than half.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good job. That was great.
Awesome.
Usually when we do the line search and we find evidence like this, bones will be like entered into the ground, so we have to like disturb the soil a little bit. So that is why we have a set over there with a cast material with bone in there. But we have some materials that we are going to work with. So this is a trowel. We're going to use this to dig bone. Dig the soil out, and then when we hit bone, we're going to switch over to the bamboo sticks over there compared to this, as well as brushes.
Okay.
Lovely.
So do I follow your lead, or am I supposed to start digging?
Let's do it together.
Okay.
That's how we would.
Look at this.
Oh, we found
Pay dirt.
Oh, we
or
found something.
pay bone.
Yeah, I'll give it a big brush, and then I can just do a finer brush.
Look at this.
Oh wow! Oh!
that.
Do a little.
Look at that.
That is an arm. We can transition to the bone lab actually.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Now that we pull these out.
Yeah, let's go.
Bye.
I'm going to class.
Okay.
Well, welcome to our lab. First off, this is our brand new space in Garland. It is strictly for use of the Osteology Lab and different forensic anthropology, biological anthropology classes. This is something we do in our human osteology class when we are doing our pathological assessment. So we each get a teaching skeleton. They're in the boxes back there. We essentially lay out the skeleton. We look at each bone. We look at different like pathologies. Anything on the bone that is like out of the ordinary, we also want to catalog. So why don't we get started? I typically start with just the skull because it's the easiest, the most obvious. Here, that gives us the base. What should we put down next?
So these, this is a scapula, right?
No.
That's a scapula.
That's a scapula, yes.
Okay. Oh, this is hip. This is the hip bone.
Yeah, so those are our os coxa.
Ox coxa. Okay.
Do you want to figure out what side is that?
Yeah, it's the left.
Actually, that
is the right?
Right.
Shows you what I know.
Yeah, we got to hold it this way.
Okay. You said it like that.
Yeah.
So this goes like this?
Yes. Although that would be the other side, yeah.
The other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And how did you know that? Because of the
Yeah, so actually when you have a femur, something you can do is you set it on the table and the way it leans is the side it's from. So we are here now looking at a different display from our skeleton. Right now we're going to play a fun little game of is it human or is it not? That is one thing we play quite a bit in the field. So one of the things that we look at first with the skull is you see these very specific lines in the skull. So these are called sutures. Something we're looking at like with this one is do those sutures match?
That's a turtle.
That is a turtle. Exactly. Yeah, so you can even see its little vertebrae on the inside. Something we also look at on the inside of a skull.
That's a coconut shell.
It is a coconut shell.
See, I'm pretty good.
You are really good at this. That one actually
Yeah.
it throws off a lot of people because if you look at the
It looks
inside
like
of
it
the
has
skull-
veins.
Exactly. When you look at the inside of a coconut shell, it has very similar pattern. One thing we do as a challenge question, it's a bonus extra credit, is you reach your hand in this box and you have to identify the bone without looking at it. So I'd love for you to see if you can take a guess.
This little teeny bone in here? It's a patella.
Yes. Yeah.
I have no idea how can you know which side?
If
Okay.
you hold it in anatomical position,
Oh,
which
look at that.
is the point
Okay.
faces down,
Yep.
the flat kind of bumpy surface faces up, and then if you look at the side
Of
that's
course.
bigger, it's on
Yeah.
the left.
Okay.
So that's a left patella. I'm glad you got patella though. That's a hard one.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course.
So Brianna, that was so great. I learned so much. This was so informative. I really loved learning about what you have learned in your courses and actually getting down in my hands and knees and actually looking for forensic evidence at a crime scene. I mean, it's paper clips, but we can pretend.
It's practice. It's practice.
Great. Thank you
can
so
do the real
much.
thing. Of
It was
course.
awesome.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you. This experience was great. I learned so much about forensic anthropology. Especially want to thank Sally Choi and Brianna Dahle for their great tour of forensic anthropology. I mean, it was just a great learning experience, and I made a new friend. I don't have a name for this Neanderthal yet. Do we have a name for him or her? We need to find a name.